Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Good morning. Thank you for coming to Channel Q.
Man, thanks for having me.
I know that this has been your scene for a while, helping out and being an ally in the community, and we're so thankful for that.
No, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the queer community above and beyond.
How did you get involved in the beginning?
Well, I think, there was a real gravity towards my music from the queer community from early on. And to be honest, throughout my entire career, through the ups and the downs, the one thing that's maintained stable and where I've just felt so much love and so seen is the queer community, And my first American shows were all pride shows. It's just it's my safe space. I just feel so safe.
They have
in a queer crowd.
We have your fans too. I would love to get into how much you are there for your fans, because it's incredible. I was looking at you looking at what you do on Twitter for your fans, and it feels like if they don't have a ticket, you'll wait outside the show.
I get worried. I just care so much about anyone who believes in me and believes in my music, So I get very protective.
Yeah, and it's incredible because not a lot of people do that when they get to a certain level, and so to see you so accessible for your fans is incredible. Did we ever come up with a name for your fans?
Still not yet.
Okay.
Do you know what? Yeah, I just have to love the name before we commit, and there's been so many different names thrown around. So if anyone has any ideas.
Okay, so I have an idea, kind of. I found a generator, a name generator on the internet. And it besides it being about your name Ray, there's a couple other questions your first pet and stuff.
Okay.
So do you want to just try this real quick?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, who's your favorite TV character?
Oh my gosh. That's a big question. SpongeBob. I don't know if that's going to generate any good names, but I do love SpongeBob.
Okay, SpongeBob. It's going to be a fun name then. I got your real first name and your last name, Rachel Keene. Mm-hmm. The name of a criminal.
Oh.
I don't know why, but,
The name of a criminal. I don't feel like there's any safe answer that I can really relay here.
That's true. Michael Jackson was a smooth one.
Oh, whoa.
I don't know.
Also, what's the girl? Anna Delvey?
Anna Delvey, yes.
If there's any criminal that I have a lot of respect for, is probably
How did
her.
she do that?
I admire the entire thing. It's the confidence for me. We all need a little bit of that confidence in life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, do you think she has a little bit too much? She would walk out on hotel bills for $500,000.
I just respect it. It's just the ultimate scam.
Yeah.
The ultimate scammer.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't even lie at if I order something and then they don't charge me for it. I'm that person, so I can never be an Anna Delvey.
I hear it.
Something really pleasant.
The sun.
The sun.
I like being warm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have that today. I apologize.
Oh, it's not cold.
Okay.
It's not cold.
Okay. An adjective to describe your music. How would you describe your music?
Honest.
Honest. Yep. When I was listening to the album, thoughtful was what came for me, because it's all packaged so thoughtfully.
That's nice.
I know it's so different when a listener, a fan, and the artist talk about it, give it one word, but yeah, I was the music is so perfect and put in such thoughtful places, and quiet when it needs to be quiet, and it's just incredible.
Thank you.
The name of your favorite childhood pet is the last question from this.
I had a hamster called Popcorn.
Okay, I love that. Okay, I'm putting it all together right now.
Okay. Oh no.
Keen Green. No, I don't like
Oh no, that's heartbreaking.
Sun Delvey. Honest Face Rachel. Toot. Do we have anything here with Ray in it?
Honest Face Rachel is hilarious.
Cool Keen, SpongeBob, Sponge. So, all right, so that just doesn't work. How does a fandom
it's creative.
Okay, I was just trying to help.
No, thank you. I really appreciate that. Honest Face Rachel is hilarious.
Is a fandom thing something that I guess they're just going to have to, someone's going to have to come up with?
Yeah, we're close. We're getting there. I heard encouragers, encouragers and then Prayers, which is really cute. I don't know, we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting close.
Yeah, you'll know it when you know it. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel
there's
like you're
some
that
really
person.
good one. Like Gaga's Little Monsters is amazing. Rina Sawayama's Pixels is so fire. I just want a really good one.
You will get it. You
Yeah.
will get it. It takes a minute, I guess.
Yes.
So as far as your music, did you? I don't know if you check up on stuff about yourself, but did you see the article about Niall Horan talking about your music?
No, recently I heard about it. Yeah.
He like hipsters you.
Wow.
He says basically like I would call her like a new artist, but I've known about her for a long time.
Oh.
So he has been listening to her music.
That's so nice.
And that's the truth with it. Your career's been going on for a while. This is not your first rodeo or Pride anything.
Right.
How do you feel about where you're at in your space now as an artist?
Oh, honestly, I'm definitely in my element. You know, I think first of all, just to be an artist with an album is a really great feeling. And that's been my goals, you know. I want to release bodies of work and I want to level up each time, and I want to, you know, tell stories honestly, not governed by the wrong things in saying that, meaning like I don't want to just create with the purpose to like make money or like make big music, you know, to sell lots. Like that's never been what governs me. I'm just obsessed with music, all things music. So I'm really grateful that I'm even in this position now where I'm in control of my career. And
you did it. You did it. You did it. That's so cool.
Thank
what you
you.
did. To me, what you did with your career is what it feels like Gen Z is doing right now with everything.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
Just being like, I'm not gonna no. I'd rather not.
Yeah, you can't. I think it's standing firm on the things you don't want to compromise on. And also the beautiful thing is, and the thing I think we all have to like, you know, I've had to take a massive leap of is you can't control. You can't focus on things you can't control. Like I can't control whether or not someone will love my music or hate it, what matters is that I do. And so, yeah, I think even everything and all the overwhelming feedback and listeners, and I just didn't expect it at all, but
really?
No.
Okay, because it slaps. Like everything, every track. Slow slaps, fast slaps, dance floor. It's just the whole thing is so... How do you, when you're done, what is that feeling like when you're done right before you put it out for everyone?
What, when we finally just handed everything in?
Yeah.
I'm always someone there's always something that could be better or can... So it was a bit like, you know... You have to hand in things 6 months ahead of time for vinyl. So you're just like, and you're listening. It's like, is there anything more to do? Is there anything more to add? I'll go in again and again and again, add in. But yeah, I mean, it felt great. It was like, okay, we've let it go. You know, it's done now. Goodness me.
Do you remember the first thing that you heard as far as feedback about the album from someone that wasn't like, you know, in the scene, like in like family or friends or anything like that? Do you remember just like popping on the internet and being like, oh crap, this is it, this is the first thing?
Yeah, I mean, what, from like from the public reaction?
Yeah, your first, like, this isn't anybody that I know, this is like...
I don't know, I think, yeah, I'm trying to even remember. It's such a like wild blur of so many emotions at once. Like, yeah, I mean, the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive and beautiful. You know, I remember all the reviews coming out and my team's like, don't read the reviews. And then I'm online reading the reviews in detail.
Okay. Yeah, right. And that's got to be such a, I don't know, like how to, I'm trying to get into like how you would feel with that when you put out something that's your absolute heart and soul and then other people can just judge it.
Well, I think, you know, some people understood what I wanted to do, and then for others, I guess it's not a traditional cohesive album in the sense there's so many different sounds and styles of stories and sonic beds, I'd say. Like, it's so varied. So some people really, really understood it. Obviously, Pitchfork is like the big mean one.
Yep.
That you always want a good review from. And that was probably like, you know, I remember reading that. Like, there's some positive things in there. I think they gave me like a 6.6 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which obviously in ways you're like 6, but in other ways you're like, you know, they didn't understand what was important to me, and that was in the freedom that I have now as an artist and a songwriter, that I just want to say what I want to say and I want to get out these stories. But overwhelmingly, the feedback and the reviews actually have been so positive. Like, I even got a few 5 stars. Like, that's nuts.
Well, it's because the album's great. Okay, I'm sorry. I know that you say when you listen to it and you hand it in that there might be something else that you could do, but like with where it's at, like it should be in Library of Congress. Like,
No.
like give it 25 years. I'm serious. No, for real. And like the story behind it is also incredible about how, you know, you just kept going and believed in yourself through. We, you know, as radio people and people that look at your career now, we can kind of package it in a tiny little thing, but like it for you was something that you lived every single day. And thank you for fighting through that.
No, thank you. Well, listen, it's just believing in yourself and not letting unnecessary people talk you out of your self-belief, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you have any like mantras or anything? Like if someone were listening right now, they're in a place where they kind of want to give up on their dreams. What would you say to them?
You know, I've spoken about this a couple of times in the past, and there's like this image that I think sums it up really perfectly, and it's this gold miner person who's like digging away, and they give you kind of like a sliced image, meaning you can kind of see in the ground, you can see the full perspective that they can't see. And then this one guy who's been digging for so long is like, I'm fed up, and turns around and starts walking away. But we can see that there's a huge diamond that they were about to crack. And then there's another person who's just like, I'm just going to get it. I'm going to get it. And it's just this image, like, I don't know, you know, to be deep, there's one thing guaranteed in life, and that's we'll all die one day.
I was wondering if you were going there with that.
Yeah,
you're right, though.
Like, it's facts.
True.
Like, and that's not something to be upset about. That's like the life experience, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I don't ever want to regret anything, especially not because of what other people thought of me or how silly I felt like I looked at the hardest of times. I don't know, I think there was definitely moments where, you know, it gets hard and you're like, maybe this is just too much for me. But I'm just glad I pushed through. And I would say, if you have a conviction that burns inside you like that, like how mine does for music, that's just not worth giving up for anyone or anything. You know, obviously it's hard. It gets tough, innit? Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Would you say that your conviction was always going to be stronger than all the other stuff, all like the naysayer stuff? Like, were there levels where you got to a point where you're like, maybe I shouldn't do this? Or were you always just like, no, I'm going to do this?
Well, it's pretty much been that energy since I was a kid, you know. I decided when I was like 8 years old that I was going to be a musician. I was going to get it or die trying. I think obviously there was moments, maybe like 1 or 2 moments where I really hit a real low and really hit some serious doubts. But, you know, I'm just glad I fought through those moments, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was your family supportive? Because I read that you dropped out of school, which, I mean, you did it the right way. You really did. But, like, what was your family like at that point when you're like, I'm just going to do this songwriting thing?
I got so lucky. My parents have been so supportive, which obviously helps so much. Yeah, they've been so supportive, and I think that's definitely been a big part. Whenever you're far away from family, I think that's when times get toughest, maybe, and you're furthest away from yourself, at least from my perspective. That's how it is. I keep my family close these days. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's incredible. I feel like, you know, some people have stories of the opposite of that, and it's so tragic in those things. But then to hear, you know, family supporting someone following their dreams, especially this far into it, and how far, it came with your story. Going back really quick to the LGBTQ community.
Yes.
Why would you say it's important to support the community in general?
Oh my goodness. There's so many reasons. I think the first being, you know, communities of people who were targeted and discriminated against, you know, deserve extra love, extra attention, and extra effort from everyone. It's the same with Black Lives Matter. It's ostracized and targeted minority groups, you know, who have been through in history such an ugly and tough time. Now we're in this new day and age where you know, these voices are becoming louder and more important. I just think it's so important that everybody goes out of their way to support and be an ally. I can't even, you look back on history and it's heartbreaking, some of the things the queer community has had to endure. And even today, you know, some of the laws in the countries, it's heartbreaking and it's wrong. So
as I've always wondered this, and I've never asked anybody, and I'd love to ask you if you don't mind. As somebody that doesn't live in America, when you hear about the stuff that's going on over here, like the drag ban in Tennessee, I'm not sure if you know about that.
Yeah. Oh, right.
You do.
Yeah.
Like when you come to America, are you just like, all right, let me just like, this place is like messed up, or like, what do you think when you come to this place?
Do you know what the thing is, and the sad thing is, I think everywhere in the world has real big obstacles and hardships that we've got to work so hard to overcome. You know, I wrote a song on my album called Environmental Anxiety about this. Like, I'm so overwhelmed at the state of everything happening in the world. Like, even in the UK, they're trying to like ban immigration, like cutthroat, and this kind of ban striking, which is like really scary.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's just so much going on everywhere in the world. I think, you know, collectively, I just pray and hope that we're the generation that's going to change things, and we're going to be able to get people in positions of power who can just simply put rules in place to just respect all human beings, regardless of where you're from, what faith you have, what colour your skin is, how you identify. And I don't know, it's just sad to me that, it's just really sad to me that there's people in positions of power who don't understand or respect that, or they're not fighting for that. It just doesn't make sense to me from a logical perspective at all.
Me neither. That's it. You just have to respect that other people exist.
Word. That's it.
But they don't.
I know.
Gosh, no.
We got a long way to go, and it's sad, isn't it?
I really do. I'm a millennial, I'm just a little bit older than you. But I don't know. I'm just so excited for Gen Z and, you know, people like you that use your platform for not only your art and, you know, what you're going through, but how you use it to speak up for all these matters. I've always been interested in people that stood up for things that they weren't like particularly, you know, like a part of, you know, like allies, basically, like the people that, you know, are totally straight and they come to the gay parades and they're just like, yes, you know, thank you. So what's that thing that you see that makes you, you know, want to take part in like helping people? Is it basically kind of what we just talked about with just not seeing respect?
I don't know. Like, obviously I'm just a musician, you know, I'm not politically informed, and I'm not someone who can really make huge change, but I just feel so passionately when I see something that's wrong. It just upsets me a lot. And my power is in my music, so often when I feel any sort of thing, I'll pour it into my art. And yeah, I just hope that it can provide medicine for anyone that is in need of it. Yeah, I do feel so passionate. Sometimes I wish there was more I could do. Sometimes you get overwhelmed, right, at how wild some of these issues are, and how, you know, I'm just a little human on this big, big planet. But yeah, music is my power, and I just hope that it brings power to anyone who also needs to feel that empowerment and that joy or that escape.
That's felt through the music, and not just me. I went on such a deep dive just to see how your fans feel about the music, and that's it. You know, like everything from every single song on the album, everyone. It felt like people. It spoke to different people in different kind of ways, and like I went on Reddit, and there was nothing bad about you. Yes, on Reddit.
Wow,
that's like the pitchfork of like the internet for like regular people. It was incredible.
That's so beautiful.
You do say that music is medicine. I've heard you say that a lot. Is talking about the music also medicine, or does it kind of like rip open things that you put in a perfect box in the way that you wanted to handle it, and now you have to like dig back into it?
Well, I think, you know, it's like music is a safe space also to talk honestly and candidly. I think, you know, we're in a really wild time where speech can, if you say something out loud in an interview or in a quote or in a video or anything, that it can get dragged and open to like different interpretations and a lot of commentary and stuff like that, which I find very overwhelming. And, you know, for some of these stories that I discussed on the album, I think if I was to like come out and talk about it candidly with my words outside of a song, I'll find that very overwhelming. So the beautiful thing is, you know, as tough as some of these subjects are, that I get to put it in this kind of safe space. And I'm like, you know, if you want to know the story, you know, listen to the song and you might understand it, you might not, you might resent it, you might need it, you know? Yeah.
If you were to use the song Escapism in like a movie, I know when you make a music video, possibly it might be kind of the same thing, but like what kind of scene do you see escapism in?
Ooh.
Because I don't know if you watched the show, but Skins.
Oh.
When I listen to Escapism, I'm like, this is, well, the whole album is pretty much, but like, is there any kind of like scene that you see or like movie or?
I'm trying to think.
That's an early morning question.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if I didn't anything, maybe it would be like, I don't know, if like maybe a scene in like Euphoria or something when they're just going wild.
That's what I got from like the newer version of Skins. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That when I heard your album, that's totally what I was thinking. I was like driving around going like, I'm having a Skins moment in this car myself. So thank you for that. Thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for fighting for women. Thank you for fighting for the queer community. Thank you for putting out an incredible album from front to back.
Thank you.
Are you the kind of person, last question, are you the kind of person that can you live in the now and enjoy it like in the now, or are you already in your mind on to the next thing?
I'm really working on that, you know, being present. I really want to enjoy now. You know, there's it's a real mindset thing. I don't want to think about any sort of pressure, any sort of like, you know, I say this because what happened with escapism is something you can't predict and you can't force and you can't foresee, and it's something I do not want to think like that at all. Like, I just want to enjoy everything that's happened. I want to enjoy this album. I want to enjoy these shows. I'm going to be doing so much shows this year. I want to enjoy every moment and then start making another album, but it needs to be levels above. That was just exciting.
Well, how are you going to do? Okay, I'm excited to see where. Is there anything in your head? Like, you don't have to tell me like what it is, but do you have ideas for songs right now?
Yeah,
okay,
I'm my brain is whirring. I've missed creating. I haven't been in the studio in so long, so when the time comes, I'm gonna just be in there, and I'm very excited.
We cannot wait to hear whatever that is. It's going to be incredible. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a really lovely interview.